As the holidays approach, I start to feel anxiety and heartbreak. I want it to be a fun season, but it never is for me. My family is complicated. I'm single with no children, and I hate waiting to be invited places. Should I just go on vacation to an island and pretend they aren't taking place? Well, I especially love this question because I have some similarities in my life. Not exactly, but yeah, the holidays is kind of a time when like couples couple up and like the parties happen and all of that stuff. And I think what I've found is that I make my own parties, and I don't put so much emphasis on the holidays. It's like the holidays are beautiful. I think creating special moments, special parties, special events. Like let's just do that. Let's just do that all year long. We don't have to wait for something called Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah. Let's focus on building community all year long so that the pressure doesn't have to come to these days where like, what am I doing? Like you can make a turkey any day of the year and invite a bunch of friends over and drink wine and have mashed potatoes and pumpkin pie. Um, it's the weight that we give to these holidays that make them so miserable for so many people. Even the people who have lots of family and have lots of friends and they invite everybody over, it's like the stress of whatever, however the stuffing's going to be done or whatever. It's like if you're not enjoying what you're doing to bring people into your home, then stop doing it. And yeah, and then go on vacation. So I don't think it has to be like I'm single or I'm married or I have family or I don't. I think it's like getting into that mental mindset of this is a celebratory time where there are different foods, there's different wines, there's different things out there that I get to enjoy that I don't get to enjoy in June. If you're in the United States, if you're in Australia, it's different. And that you just look at the small things and find, the specialness, if you will, in whatever pine flavored ice cream that the restaurant has that they don't have all year long, right? The eggnog or whatever, the glühwein. I'm a big fan of the German markets where you walk around, it's freezing cold and you're hanging on to that glühwein and like keeping your hands warm. Find the joy in the small things and forget about who you're with. I mean, like, okay, not exactly, but forget about the expectations of who you need to be with or should be with or aren't with. And if you go to the markets with a glühwein in your hand and you're all by yourself, that's fine too. Then just go there with the intention of, I'm just going to talk to people. I'm just going to spread joy and cheer. And forget about all of these ideas about what Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah and whatever your holiday is that you celebrate. They're traditions and they're meant to be fun, but we make them miserable. So don't do that. Just move away from it. And I wouldn't run away. I mean, unless you're like really called to go somewhere over Christmas, if that's fun and that feels right, great, then do it. But don't do it to run away from the holidays, because the holidays will never run away from you because it's in your mind. So until you shift your mind and you shift your affiliation and association with the holidays, nothing's going to change. You're still going to feel that emptiness and that like, oh my God, I'm by myself. So maybe that you don't feel that exactly, but hopefully that's helpful. And hopefully that's helpful for the collective, because I know the holidays really are a challenge for a majority of people. A lot of people put on a good front that they're having fun, and they're not. So it's all about mindset. All right. Each week, I am so happy to have you here. I love it when you tune in. I love it when you ask questions. I want to know, what is your state of the heart? I want to hear all of your heartbreak, your heartache, and anything that's weighing heavy on you that we can help transform, because we're here for bliss, not for suffering. And so each week at 11:11 Pacific time, please submit your questions, show up live. And if you want more resources, you can always schedule a one-on-one session with me. I also do executive spiritual advising, and there's lots of resources on bethbell.me. The Awakening and Healing Handbook, lots of tips, tools, techniques that will help you. There's the Psychedelics Resource Guide. So if you have any interest in possibly unraveling your mind and getting out of the reality that you're in, that might be something to consider. You'll hear all about that in the guide. And there's also the Herpes Handbook. So whether you have herpes or not, there's juicy nuggets in there about viruses of the mind and also how to overcome shame, guilt, and heartache and heartbreak that the herpes virus can bring to lots of families and loved ones. All right, with that said, I can't wait to see you next week, 11:11 Pacific time. And until then, wishing you much bliss and joy on the journey. Namaste.